Well, race fans, how about that spectacular display? Did you enjoy that? Yes, sir. Just great. Another of the many features here at the Stafford Motor Speedway for your enjoyment, and a great kickoff to our Labor Day weekend. We hope it will be a very special weekend for all of you. All of the action tonight being brought to you by Extra Mart Convenience Stores. These stores are headquartered in Connecticut. Started over 45 years ago as a small group of gasoline stations. Extra Mart has grown through a remarkable transformation over these years of operation. The move to expand into the convenience store business came over 20 years ago and has helped Extra Mart grow to include over 350 stores throughout the region, serving customers in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Maryland. Extra Mart convenience stores offer a full line of snacks and beverages, as well as car care products and groceries. Of course, your neighborhood Extra Mart still provides quality gasoline for your driving needs. Extra Mart convenience stores, right near you, first class, and waiting for you. Well, a spectacular evening thus far, and a lot more yet to come. Our lights are slowly coming up. Then we'll be able to resume as we'll be bringing you the SK modified main event for the evening, followed by the Pro Stock feature, then later model event number 2.
We should also mention that tonight's SK modified event has a posted purse in excess of $22,000. And among the many items that makes it a special night of racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway is the fact that Ted Christopher is attempting to collect his 50th win in the SK Modified division. His first SK Modified win came way back on May 23rd in 1986. Fact is, this is the 45th NASCAR Weekly Racing Series event run so far in the NASCAR 2000 program. There have been 30 different winners, Raleigh. That's quite amazing, isn't it?
It really is. Just gives you an idea of the terrific competition we have been seeing all season long. And you speak, Ben, about terrific competition. Unofficially, we totaled up the points for the late model division as a result of their first feature tonight. And here's the way they will stand going into the second feature. Leader Mike Quintiliano picked up 36 points and now has 542. Larry Vassar added 26 to his total. He is now 12 points behind at 530. Then we have a tie for third, Bill Davis and John Yale Jr. at 522, and only 2 points behind them, Ryan Pasacco. Still very much in the running is the defending champion Chuck Zentarski at 510. Then 2 gentlemen at 502, Tom Butler and Jim Peterson. So still tightly bunched in that late model race.
All right, thank you very much, Raleigh, as we are set now to begin our feature portion of this evening's program. And let's go to the Diamond Vision screen and officially kick off tonight's action here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Last Friday night, the ASB American Classic here at the Stafford Motor Speedway saw it all. 3 first-time NASCAR 2000 victors. 1 driver getting a step closer to the magical number 50. And the tightening of all weekly point battles. 2 SK Modified features tapped the bill last week as 2 drivers took the checkered flag. Race number 1 saw Lloyd Agor hold off Ted Christopher by a half a car length for his race win. Race 2 saw the roles reversed as Ted Christopher picked up victory number 49, which meant only one thing.
Now this is your 49th win in the year 2000. Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon took their 50th win. How long is that going to take you to do that here?
Hopefully next Friday night.
Next Friday?
He is only 50 laps away from reaching that mark here this evening. The Pro Stocks produced some of the wildest action of the night last week as several yellows waved during the 40-lap distance, including this one involving Scott Hooley. In the end, it was Dennis Botticello taking the checkered flag first, but following post-race inspection and a disqualification that was issued, Gary Pelletier captured the win, making it his first in the Pro Stocks. The late models saw much of the same wildness, including this pile-up in turn 3 on lap 14 which eliminated some of the front runners. Bob Botticello managed to miss it all and make his first trip to CarQuest Victory Lane in NASCAR 2000. Tonight, these cars and drivers have returned, some looking to gain some ground on a championship, while others are just looking to gain experience and survive. SMS Live is next.
Well, race fans, we've certainly had a lot of excitement already this evening, and there's plenty more yet to come. My name is Raleigh Jacobs. I'll be your host for the remainder of the action tonight. And now we'll be moving right into our SK Modified main event. And we'll turn the announcing duties over to our compatriots from Dayville, Connecticut, Kyle Rickey, and from Vernon, Connecticut, Ben Dodge.
Well, thank you very much, Raleigh. We are now going to give you the starting lineup for the SK Modified feature event. The distance will be 50 laps, speaking of the number 50. Starting way back in the 30th starting position, driving car number 50, the ABI Internationals machine from Southwick, Massachusetts, Benny Garcia.
29 starter, car number 06 from Glastonbury, Connecticut, the All-American Auto Class Chevrolet for Rich Kowalski.
In the 28 starting spot, it'll be car number 41, the Luz Greenhouse, number 41 from Plainville, Connecticut, for Chris Gronowski.
27 starter, car number 29 from Brooklyn, Connecticut, the Darren's Electric Chevrolet for Darren Mendito.
Wellville Associates brings us car number 23. It'll start 26 on the grid from Monroe, Connecticut, for Larry Ross.
25th starter is car number 44 from Stamford, Connecticut, the close-up two-pace Pontiac for Frank Wainwright.
Scheduled to start 12 rows back to the outside in the 24th starting position. Car number 05 from Norwalk, Connecticut, for Ronnie Silk.
23rd starter, car number 30 from Winsted, Connecticut, the Cozy Satin Shack Pudding Chevrolet for Donnie Traveler.
22nd starting spot goes to the veteran from Fort Jefferson, Long Island, New York. Car number 3 for Jeff Palave.
It is car number 81. Start next out of Danbury, Connecticut. Sponsor wanted entry for Dale Friday.
Then we go to the number 26 machine. Starting way back in the 20th starting position for Ken Aubrey out of Durham, Connecticut, in a sponsor wanted race car.
Rolling off 19th, car number 25 from Summers, Connecticut. The number 25 BBA Inc. Chevrolet for Billy Bolton.
Mobile Fleet Service brings us the 18th starter to the grid. Car number 14 from Farmington, Connecticut, for Bobby Brown.
Car number 18 rolls off 17th out of Windsor, Connecticut. The Nation Auto USA Chevrolet for Jeff Corral.
Harcum Chrome Incorporated brings us car number 48 from Milldale, Connecticut, for Dale Finefield Jr.
15 starter, car number 2 from Southold, New York. The Aspen Wall Electric Chevrolet for Richard Clark.
14th starting spot goes to the number 38 from Patchogue, Long Island, New York. It'll be the sponsor wanted race car for Lance Conley.
13 starter is car number 13 from Plainville, Connecticut. The Automated Waste Disposal Chevrolet for Teddy Christopher.
Moving now into the top 12 in the 12th starting spot, driving the Foley's Pump Service, number 22 from New Milford, Connecticut. It is Lloyd Agar.
7 starter, or 11 starters, car number 7 from Wellington, Connecticut. It is Willie Hardy in the Harvard Home Convenience Store.
Runner-up in the point parade, the Gateway Limousines, number 57, defending champion from Broadbrook, Connecticut, Jerry Markey.
9th starter, car number 98 from Canton, Connecticut. The sponsor wanted Chevrolet for Kurt Rayner.
Dunkin' Donuts brings us car number 00 from Danbury, Connecticut, for Jim Williams.
And then it's car number 15 from Lebanon, Connecticut. The TAS Country Homes Pontiac for Zach Sylvester.
Then we go to the number 79, starting 6th on the grid from Needham, Massachusetts. It'll be the Donovan equipment car for Kerry Malone.
5th starter, car number 82 from Plainville, Connecticut. The Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet for Mike Christopher.
Junkie Poolin Drywell Incorporated brings us car number 78 from Springfield, Mass. The talented Chuck Doherty starting 4th.
3rd starter, car number 54, new paint scheme for this machine this week from Meriden, Connecticut, the Northern Auto Parts Pontiac for Eric Murph.
And row number 1 to the outside from Beacon Falls, Connecticut, the Bob Ford Racing Enterprises Cavalier, car number 85 from Eddie's Fire.
And on the pole, it is car number 9 from Ellington, Connecticut, the reliable welding and speed Pontiac for Brad Hightower.
The points going into the event, Christopher's your leader, 634 over 624 with Jerry Markey.
A lap away from the start of this one. Let's swing up the turn number 3 and bring in the 3rd voice of this evening's SK Modified feature event. Bring in Gary Danko.
Well, thank you, Kyle. Once again, good evening, everybody. 550 feet of long back straightaway. They'll work it up here in this 9-degree banking up here in turn number 3. This is one part of the racetrack you want to have a good handling race car where you can put left side rubber right down on the white line. You got a good handling racing car here in between turns 3 and 4. You may have a shot of victory. Get caught up on the outside, you could be in trouble. Now let's go down to my cohorts. Let's first go to Kim Hart.
Couple drivers with a lot at stake here tonight. Teddy Christopher going for his 50th win, and Jerry Marquis lost the points lead last week, wants it back. How's he going to do that? Well, he doesn't want to end up on pit road. He wants to be out on the track with Teddy Christopher in his rearview mirror. We're going to cover it all on pit road along with Tony Sutton.
Well, some of the drama that's building, the young Lions are starting to really raw. Eric Burnt, the 54, Zach Sylvester in the 15. Man, they got a lot of experience right behind them. Some of the finest drivers anywhere in the United States, right here at Stafford, right now, back to the tower.
Well, you are so right. There is 50 laps showing on the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series scoreboard. We are moments away from the start. The green is underway, and Brad Idella will lead him down to the bottom of turn number 1.
He has the race lead. Byfield will fall into second. The first side-by-side battles for third down the back straightaway.
Eric Burton, the North End Auto Parts Pontiac, brand new car for him now. Works it to the inside. Right to the outside is car number 78 of Dockery. Dockery getting one up on the outside as they work off the corner.
Dockery making some magic, looking for a dancing partner as he'll challenge for the third spot. To the outside goes Doherty. It is Burt now down low off turn 2.
Burt now will sneak his car in and take the third spot away, dropping Doherty back. But here comes Doherty one more time. He'll try to work right up to the outside. He'll also try to pull the machines of Mike Christopher and the Kerry Below machine as well.
Doherty running well on the outside. Eric Burton to the inside. That's the battle for third as Brad Hightower, the race leader, has pulled away by 2 car lengths over Fifield in second. Now Hightower grabs the third spot.
Hightower now there in the number 1 spot leading the way. Then it is car number 85, and then right there in third, car number 54 for Eric Burton. They'll work off the corner.
Burton leads the charge as they head down into the turn in that quest for the third spot. Heavy competition to follow in hot pursuit. Here comes Mike Christopher. He'll move down underneath Kerry Malone off turn 2.
Mike Christopher looked for racing room there past the Malone machine. Couldn't get the job done there. Kerry Malone will take that spot away. Best battle on the speedway now is for second off turn 2.
Eric Burton takes a look to the inside of Fifield, who is now being shuffled back to about the 4th position. Chuck Doherty takes a look to the inside for that third spot. One car way up high in his car number 7 of Willie Hardy. He just lost 3 spots down the back straightaway.
Hardy gets up into the loose stuff. He gathers it back rather nicely as they come off the turn. Back to the line they come. Lap number 5. Hightelling is your leader. Running in second it is Byrne. Riley got the top 3. It is Spire setting in the third spot. Then it is Doherty and Kerry Malone to set in position number 5 with Christopher moving in down in 3.
I'll tell you, Ted Christopher's car number 13. It's like a rocket ship now as he's battling with his brother. He'll take that spot away off turn 4.
Back down into the stripe. Teddy Christopher and Mike Christopher right now 6th and 7th on the speedway. Single file back down into turn number 1. The kid, Zach Sylvester, working Mike Christopher over down the backstretch.
Zach Sylvester's been looking for racing room around the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Can't find a room. One more time, he'll try to duck it to the inside and take that spot away. Still can't do it. Falls back the line off the corner.
Well, Zach Sylvester tries to make a Timex timely move to the inside. It just doesn't pay off. But for Kerry Malone, he's battling with Ted Christopher. That's the battle for 5th down in turn 3.
That's the best battle on the speedway right now. Kerry Malone and Ted Christopher. Ted Christopher's going to take that spot away on the outside.
Christopher up to 5th, Malone to 6th, and it's Mike Christopher in 7th. Zach Sylvester in 8th. Kurt Brainerd in 9th, and Boyd Agor, last week's winner, to round out the front 10. Jerry Martinez in 11th. Willie Hardy's in 12th. All single file down the backstretch.
Well, while Ted Christopher's trying to get around the Doherty machine, the best battle also is for the number 1 spot. Brad Hightower leads up with Eric Burton Watson off turn 4.
Well, Brad Hightower's got a mirror full of silver. It is the brand new Eric Burton machine that sets in second. Burton tucks his back into the formation. Look out, here comes DC. Bottom shot move off turn 2. He'll bid for 4.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's the inside or the outside for Teddy Christopher tonight. He's been strong no matter where he's been. Now he'll take the 4th spot away off turn 4.
Teddy Christopher looking for his 50th career SK Modified win here this evening. He got number 49 a week ago. Right now he's in 4th place on the speedway.
Speedway with 10 laps of the 50 complete. Chuck Dougherty is in the 5th spot. Kerry Malone in 6th. Mike Christopher in 7th. Zach Sylvester in 8th. Kurt Brainerd in 9th. And Boyd Agor to round out the front 10. Things are getting dicey in that back of traffic, Ben.
No question about it as they come off the turn. Here comes Marquis. He's there with Willie Hardy just out of the top 10. Marquis goes to the inside of Hardy. Can't complete the move, which would have given him the spot. Back down into turn number 3. Eric Byrne still all over Brad Heitella. Heitella holds his groove nicely, Kyle, as he comes back to the line.
There's single file, and here comes Kenny Christopher to the inside of Dale Fifield for that 3rd position. Christopher deep down the inside, grabs the spot away from Fifield, and now he looks to be getting the reeled on the top 2 cars.
Christopher now in 3rd there. Now he wants 2nd. He wants it bad. As now he's trying to close in on the 2nd place car. Byrne off the corner.
As they work their way back to the line, here comes Byrne now, down low to the inside. Lead change to the bottom of turn number 1. Gary, will he be able to hold off as they head down the back straightaway?
2 cars side by side as they battle, but if they look in the rearview mirror, they're going to see the black machine of Ted Christopher coming, and he's coming in a hurry. Off turn number 4, give the advantage to Eric Byrne.
Eric Byrne grabs the race lead. Heitella will fall in 2nd. Christopher in 3rd. Then it is Eddie Spires all by himself in 4th right now with car number 85. Chuck Dougherty to round out the top 5 in 5th. Good battle for 6th between Kerry Malone and Mike Christopher. But at the front of the field, it is the other Christopher, Ted Christopher. That is making headlines. He is 3rd and reeled in. Brad Heitella for 2nd.
There's no question about it. 3 cars have strung out at the front of the field. Lap number 15 is just clicked on the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series scoreboard. There's been only 2 leaders so far, in which Eric Byrne took over the lead. Heitella is knocking on heaven's door, and right there with it comes TC Ted Christopher. Christopher goes to the outside, Kyle off turn 4.
Look to the inside by Heitella. Shut the door down the front straightaway back into turn number 1. Little contact between those 2 machines off of turn number 2. 3 cars to battle it down the back straightaway.
The top 3 cars are broken away from the 4th place car of Spires, and meanwhile Ted Christopher sits in 3rd. He wants 2nd, he wants it bad. He's been looking racing room around the Heitella machine, but can't find it off the corner.
Let's set the field with 17 laps in the record book. Your leader is Eric Byrne with car number 54. Heitella sits in 2nd with the number 9 car. 3rd is Christopher with car number 13. That is Eddie Spires in the 4th spot. Chuck Dougherty is 5th. 6th position is Kerry Malone. 7th is Mike Christopher. He is the number 98 machine of Brainerd. 9th is Zach Sylvester. Rounding up the top 10 is Boyd Agor with Willie Hardy and Jerry Marquis just out of the top 10.
Marquis was involved in an incident with Mike Christopher earlier in practice this afternoon, first practice session. Not sure if that has anything to do with his performance here this evening, but right now he's running in the top 10. So is Mike Christopher, car for 82. He's in the battle with Kurt Brainerd for that. Down the front straightaway and back into turn 1.
Brainerd tries to make some magic here. Here comes the number 22 of Boyd Agor. Agor moves down underneath Sylvester. Drag race to the bottom of turn 3. Off the turn back to the line. It is still the number 54 machine in command. Meanwhile, TC makes the move to the inside lane as they head down into turn 3.
Teddy Christopher's been all over the back bumper of the Heitella machine.
Caution for the first time, a spin up in turn number 2. It looks to be Zach Sylvester in car number 15 to bring out this first caution of the event here on lap number 21.
It appears that the number 15 car has cut a right rear tire on the Zach Sylvester number 15, and that'll bring out the first caution of the event. So 21 of the 50 laps are now into the record books. There have been 2 leaders so far in this event. The first one being car number 9 from Brad Heitella. But it is Eric Byrne with a brand new race car, silver in color, that has been the dominant car so far. Heitella currently sits in 2nd, and Ted Christopher will round out the top 3. Eddie Spires sits in the 4th spot with Chuck Dougherty in position number 5.
Let's go up to the Diamond Vision screen and see what happens here to bring out this latest caution. Zach Sylvester and Willie Hardy made contact, and Sylvester goes all around. Looked like he may have had a right rear flat on that number 15 car, and tough break for Sylvester, who was up in that lead group. Here's a story, Marquis on pit road. He'll join Zach Sylvester and the number 26 of Georgitis on the pit lane here on lap number 22, the first caution of this event. Tough break for Marquis in the 57. He's going to have a lot of ground to make up here. We are almost at the halfway mark. Let's go downstairs to pit road.
Well, they've got the car up there looking at the suspension adjustment on the rear of Jerry Marquis, number 57, working on the adjustment underneath. The tires are still on the car. They're checking to make sure that everything is okay, and there's and the crew is walking away slowly. Not a good sign for Jerry Marquis. Sylvester in the pits also. They got the car up on the jack. They're replacing the back tire that went flat. They're looking now to see if there's anything else wrong with the tire, and they need a jack stand. They need a jack stand for the car to get underneath it to do some more work, because they cannot get underneath all the way to get the new tire on back upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Tony. A tough break for Zach on pit road. Hey, the 4 stars of the night. You saw them on the Speedway a moment ago. They are in Autograph Alley down on the Midway. Great opportunity to meet some of the drivers that compete here each and every week at the Stafford Motor Speedway. They are at the Autograph Alley on the Midway. Back downstairs to pit road.
Yeah, and just talking with Lance Connolly's crew, the number 38 here on pit road. The reason why he's here is because they black flagged him because he passed the leader under caution. But to also, you know, we see that Jerry Marquis having some trouble. I talked to Teddy Christopher's pit crew, and they said he's being very quiet in the car. He's very happy. You know, he had a slight injury last week, nothing broken, and obviously he's feeling very good. And his chances at that 50th win are looking very good also. Back to the tower.
Well, it is 9:30 Eastern Time here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We work our third feature event of the evening. The Dare Stocks will run earlier this evening, and Scott Nordman taking down the win. The first of 2 late model features will also run with John Yale Jr. taking the checkered flag. Right now, 23 laps into our SK Modified feature, it is Eric Byrne, the race leader. We have had 1 yellow for 3 laps. Second is Brad Hightower. Ted Christopher is in third. Eddie Spires round out the front 4 off of turn number 4. Chuck Doherty is in 5th. We go back to green here on lap 24.
As they come off turn number 4, back up through the gears they go. It is Byrne with that brand new race car that leads him down to the line. The tail that wags the dog becomes the man in black, the intimidator. It is Ted Christopher who moves into second. Remember, Christopher's looking for his 50th career victory. Will it come tonight off turn number 4? Christopher is 1 spot away from taking down win number 50.
And he's 25 laps away from the checkered flag as the field has just got the halfway signal. 1 car gets out of shape. It looks to be Bolton, the 25. He saves the machine off of turn 2. The leaders are in 3.
Eric Byrne shows the way. Ted Christopher is second. Brad Hightower is third. And then it's for 78. Chuck Doherty, then a good battle for 4th.
Caution for the second time in this event. Cars spun up in turn number 2 in front of, turn number 3 rather, in front of Gary Danko.
It is a 25 of Billy Bolton, the car that goes spinning in the 3rd turn. Let's check in with Gary Danko. Gary?
Eric just racing for position in car number 25, and Billy Bolton just went around. Doesn't appear to be any damage, like anybody hit him, or he did not have any contact with the arm barrier. He will pull away under his own power.
Evelyn Blake to the first aid booth, please. Evelyn Blake to the first aid booth, please. Thank you.
Well, with 26 of the 50 laps into the record books, Eric Byrne has been one of 2 leaders so far. Currently is the leader. Brand new race car. Took it out for the first test session today with it. They were so pleased with the performance of the car that they did not bring it out in the 2nd practice session. Who is running hot and who wasn't here today? Ted Christopher was the fastest car in the pit area, turning in times of 19.657. Willie Hardy was 2nd fastest with 19.682, and Lloyd Agar would round out the top 3 with a time of 19.706. How did all of that stack up? With the number 54, Eric Byrne was 16th fastest in the low 22nd bracket. Riley?
Well, Ben, we surely look forward again to next week. Our point battles will continue, and on deck next Friday, a Pro Stock doubleheader. Plus, of course, we'll have main events for the rest of our divisions, the SK Modifieds, the late models, and the Dare Stock. So, friends, you want to be a part of it, join us. And while you're here at the Speedway 2, we invite you to get your tickets for the September 23rd and 24th CarQuest 300 Fall Final, featuring the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series. You can get your tickets tonight before you leave. Now, let's get this report.
Well, real quickly, Donnie traveling in the car, very, very hot. They squirted some water on the radiator trying to cool it down. Meanwhile, Billy Bolton is in there changing the stagger on the tires, trying to get the car to handle a little bit better after that spin back upstairs.
Well, we're ready to go back to green flag racing. They'll head down the back straightaway. Lights are off on the safety vehicle as they'll be passing beneath Gary Danko.
Geared off in rows of 2 as we get set to get back under green flag racing conditions right up front. Eric Byrne with a brand new car right alongside Car number 13 for Teddy Christopher. 2 chassis dynamic cars are going to lead the field back to the green.
All right, thank you very much, Gary. As they pass by your position over under the CarQuest billboard, the pace car pulls away from the field, and the 54 for Burnt looking to lead the field off to the corner with Teddy Christopher to his outside. Brad Mitala in that second spot, and then it is Chuck Doherty. That's so impressive. Speed modified. He runs forward as the green flag waits for the starter stand.
Christopher gets a nice run for it in the outside lane. He'll take over the lead down into turn number 1. Burnt sets in second. Right there, here comes car number 78. Chuck Doherty's moving high, wide, and handsome down in 3.
Doherty up to the outside, trying to take that spot away from Mitala. Can't do it.
Doherty works the outside groove, now fall back in the line, but here comes Kerry Malone to the insider. Doherty, they make contact at turn number 2. Doherty goes around in front of the entire field, and everybody so far has missed him.
Doherty keeps it moving even though he's headed in the opposite direction. He is clear and no contact was made to the Doherty machine. Skillful driving on the part of all the other competitors in this one. After the fact, Billy Bolton apparently made some contact with someone. He is off the pace with what looks to be a problem with the right side of the number 25 machine. Perhaps the tire literally sheared back on the side of the Bolton race car. As we are back under yellow, you can hear that car in the background squealing as the right front is laid way back at Billy Bolton's number 25. The only casualty of what looked to be an altercation that could have sidelined a lot of the front-running cars, but everybody made the transition and the move on by. And guess who's the man that sets in position number 1? It is car number 13 in search of his 50th career victory here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. He is the guy that is leader number 3 in this event. 31 of 50 laps now into the record books. Ted Christopher is your leader. Let's head back down on pit road.
The number 54 of Eric Byrne has been knocking on the door to a win all year, talking to his crew about what's going on with the car right now. This brand new silver number 54, they said it's a little tight going into the corner, but he's also not saying too much, which of course again is a very good sign. Back to the tower.
Speaking of good signs, let's check in on the Diamond Vision screen and take a look back at what happened here. Here's Doherty in the white car. Goes to the bottom, gets a little bit loose, scrambles here, but notice how he keeps moving the car backwards, out of the line of fire, we'll call it. They are literally scrambling both high, low, and all around him. No contact was made. Doherty's got a long way to go, but this kid's got a ton of talent. Count on him to be marching back to the front of the field.
Gary Malone, the other car involved in that incident, over in turn number 1. Caution flag has come back out on Speedway. Donnie Travlin has the black flag stop and go. He ignored a pit road signal. So Travlin now being released from the pit road over in turn number 2. He'll go to the tail end of the field, join Doherty back there with him as we go to pit road now, checking down there.
Well, Kyle, I'd just like to know what was going through the mind of Chuck Doherty as he was backing down the racetrack in turn number 2 and all those guys were coming at him. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, it was a marvelous job of all the drivers around him to miss him, because when he spun around, he kicked up enough dirt that there must have been a wicked cloud right in front of a lot of drivers back upstairs.
And that's exactly what it was. You could see that dust that was kicked up on the racetrack, and what a situation that occurred there. 33 of the 50 laps are down. Lance Conley's car is back down on pit road currently as we speak. Lights are off on the safety vehicle as they head beneath the Diamond Vision screen. We'll check back down on pit road.
The number 78 of Chuck Doherty took a spin there, apparently a little frustrated with Kerry Malone, but they're saying that the car is fine, so he can get back up to the front. He found himself in this points chase by accident. Everything that happens out on that track is a learning experience for this team. Hopefully they can get back towards the front before this event's over. Back to the tower.
All right, thank you very much, Kim. The field's in turn 3 in front of Gary Danko as we are set to go back to green.
Well, down into turn number 3, they look to pick up the pace just a bit. Safety vehicle starts to pull away from the competition. They'll be heading back down on pit road. Tony Leckie on the starter stand. He looks the field over, looking for a good, clean start off turn number 4. They'll wind them up through the gears. They go back down to the line. Burnt to the advantage at the start-finish line, but down to the bottom of turn number 1. Give the spot to car number 13, Ted Christopher, looking strong down the back straightaway.
But here comes the brand new car of Eric Bird, the North Bend Auto Parts Pontiac now, trying to work up to the outside of the Christopher machine. Can't get the job done there. He'll tuck it back to line right in front of Terry Malone, number 79.
Christopher leads back down into turn number 1 with car number 54, sliding into that second spot for Burt. Now he begins to battle back to the inside.
Off the turn, back down to the line. They come in single file formation. No real challenges among the top 4 cars this circuit, but it is Mike Christopher who sets in the 6th spot. Look out, here comes Brainerd on the outside. He'll challenge Spires for position number 7. Kurt Brainerd's marching to the front now. He goes to the outside lane off turn 2.
Brainerd now uses the outside to his advantage as he tries to negotiate the number 85 of the Spires. He'll pick up that spot. The next victim in line right in front of him, the Mike Christopher machine car 82.
The group makes up of the front 9 cars down into turn number 1, being led by Ted Christopher, Eric Burton second. Then it is car number 79 for Terry Malone, the 9 for Brad Vitala, the 82 for Mike Christopher, the top 5 down in turn number 3. Kurt Brainerd's next in line, Lloyd Agor, and then it is the Flyers to round out the front 9 cars back down the stripe.
Well, it's a magical combination. Any number could rise to the top in this one. That's how close the competition has been here tonight. Lap number 38 into the record books. Car number 13, Ted Christopher, 3rd leader of the event, and literally starting to pull away now by a lot of car length from Eric Burton, that brand new race car setting in 2nd. Malone is hunted down by Brad Vitala, once the leader of the event. He sits currently in position number 4. Then it's Mike Christopher, Kurt Brainerd, right there with him is Lloyd Agard, then Ed Spires, then Jeff Malave along with Willie Hardy. We've got the Clark car spinning to the inside of the racetrack just before the Diamond Vision screen, and we are still under green.
That all started when the 02 of Malone slowed up down off of turn number 2. Clark checked up, went around along with one other car down the back straightaway. That is car number 48 that is now moving for Dale Fifield. He'll return to Speedway as the field exits turn number 4. Less than 10 laps to go. Remember, man, Christopher had only a 10-point lead. Looking to gain a ton of points there this evening with Jerry Marquis, who sits just inside of the top 10.
So there's no question about it. Marquis has not had the type of night that Ted Christopher has had so far. Malave, Willie Hardy, and Jerry Marquis.
Trouble on contending. Back straightaway, Fifield and 78 got together. 78 climbed the wall for Chuck Doherty, and Fifield heads to pit road in 48.
Well, it appears that Doherty's also had one of those nights that he likely forget being bounced around for the majority of this event. 42 laps into the record book. There was less than 8 seconds to go when they come back to the line. It is still Ted Christopher. But look at the dogfight battle between Jeff Malave, Jerry Marquis, and Willie Hardy. That's a battle among the top 10 here.
That's 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th off of turn 2.
Jerry Marquis with the Gateway Limousine Chevrolet has been trying to get around the Malave machine. He's been up to the inside, he's been up to the outside. Now he'll fall back in line as they work off the corner.
Off the turn, they slice and they dice just a bit. Hardy right there. He becomes the tail that wags the dog in this one. Malave just in front of them. 44 laps and counting. When they come back to the line, it is Tony Leckie giving him the high five, and Ted Christopher works his way off turn 4.
Best battles on Speedways for that 10th spot. Here comes Hardy to the inside of Marquis. Remember, that's another 2 points. And then it's the 3 for Jeff Malave. All under a blanket for the 9th position. Frank Wainwright joins the mix as well down the back straightaway.
Battle for 9 continues down here in turn number 3 with Jerry Marquis up to the outside. Willie Hardy to the inside as the Wainwright machine works on as they work off turn 4.
No question about it. Time is starting to run out of this event. If anyone's been saving anything, it's got to show now. Here comes Marquis up the top side. Jeff Malave down low. Willie Hardy right there. What a dogfight battle with Wainwright down in turn 3.
You almost think something's got to give there for that 9th spot. Marquis is still up to the outside. Now Malave sows a little bit. They're almost 3 wide off turn 4.
Yeah, here comes Hardy taking a look to the inside. Marquis to the outside. Malave almost stuck in the middle there for a moment. Back down into turn 1. Meanwhile, in front of the field, Ted Christopher will see the twin sticks this time around. 2 laps will remain for car number 13. He's the race leader back down in the stripe.
No question about it. The final 2 circuits, Ted Christopher starting to spring it out just a bit. Looking for his 50th career victory. But look at that dogfight battle between Malave, Willie Hardy, and the 57 of Marquis, with Wainwright right in the mix as they work their way off turn 4. White flag is out, 1 lap to go.
1 lap away from win number 9 for the year 2000.
person. He's also 1 lap away for his 50th career win. He's down the back straightaway.
Back straightaway for the final time. History will be in the making. Teddy Christopher going to try to pick up his 50th career win. He'll exit off turn number 4. You can see the checker in the hand.
No question about it. Ted Christopher's got his 50th career victory in the SK Modified. It is hard to believe, but it is victory for the Christopher combination. Finishing in the runner-up spot, Burns with the number 54 with the 79 of Kerry Malone to finish among the podium. Of the top 3, unofficially Hightower will finish in the 4th spot, and rounding up the top 5, it'll be Mike Christopher. 6th spot, Lloyd Agar. 7th position goes to Kurt Brainerd. Unofficially in the 8th spot will be Spires. 9th will be Jerry Marquis with Malave right in the mix there, along with Willie Hardy. But right now, the man that secured his first victory in the SK Modified division, it came way back in May 23rd of 1986, 50 career wins to his credit. Let's go to Gary Danko and his final thoughts.
Well, thank you, Ben. Certainly was a great race for the SK Modifieds, and I'll tell you, a tip of the cap to Teddy Christopher, history in the making here as he picks up his 50th career win. But how about car number 54 of Eric Byrne? He battled TC for quite a few laps there, to the inside, to the outside. He certainly had a great race car, brand new car. So I'll tell you, definitely a great job by Eric Byrne. And Kerry Malone, he had a great race as well. He comes home 3rd.
Well, it took him 14 years to get 50 wins. Ted Christopher grabs that magical number 50. Everybody wants to get to that mark. Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon have already done it this year in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Here this evening in the SK Modifieds, it is Ted Christopher. 2nd place on the all-time win list, 38 wins to Bo Gunning. His last win came 2 years ago, almost this exact date, September 4th, 1998. Mike Christopher's 3rd on that list with 27 wins. So TC is going to have the record here for quite a while for the SK Modifieds here at Stafford. Let's go downstairs and hear from him now in Victory Lane.
Teddy Christopher driving this number 13 from the 13th position to the very first position, landing here in CarQuest Victory Lane to take his 50th win, getting that historical photo taken. Something, you know, to take 50 wins in a SK Modified is quite an accomplishment, but that's not all the wins he has, but it was one that was really important to him. He's got the checker flag up on the roof. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for Teddy Christopher as he makes history at Stafford Motor Speedway. Congratulations going on here with Jack Arud Sr. And with his nephew again. Come on over, Teddy, so we can talk to you for a minute here. We want to share this moment with you. Let me get on the other side so we don't block the little... This is Michael you got in your arms, right?
Yeah, that's my godson.
That's your godson. Now, you're a man of your word. You predicted that this Friday you would take your 50th win, and you did it.
Yeah, you know, I really got to thank the crew and everybody for this. We've really, last week we had a problem at Thompson with the motor, and we pulled it out right away, and thank Mike Pettit for rebuilding the motor right away, and I'd like to thank Jim Galante for letting me drive this car. He's here tonight for the first time this year, and thanks, Jim.
Did you think about this being the 50th win? What does it mean to hit a mark like that? And they say it's taken you 14 years to do it.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. You know, I don't really look at stuff like that. I just, you know, I look at 1 week at a time and trying to win the race that I'm at, you know, at that moment.
Now, we were in the Kids Club meeting earlier. If the kids want to know how to win, they asked Teddy Christopher how to do it. What were a couple of things that you told the kids?
A lot of it's determination, stay focused, and listen to your parents, stay in school, and do good and have good grades.
That's it. Advice from a guy who knows what he's talking about. Teddy Christopher takes his 50th win here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Now back to Tony Sutton with our second place finisher.
Well, Eric Byrne finishing on the podium in 2nd spot in a brand new car, first time out, only got a few laps of practice. What a great drive.
Yeah, it's definitely all smiles for us. You know, this is just the way we'd like to take home a new car, still in one piece, other than teardowns. You know, the man is amazing, Teddy. You know, without him here, I probably might have a couple wins. I don't know, you know.
Well, you got nothing to be ashamed of. On the restart, you were right there with him, and he had the ability to get off the corner a little bit stronger than you, but he never got much distance on you. You were always in the hunt.
I was definitely, the car was working good. It was a little tight for us, but, you know, to bring it home on a maiden night like this is just great. I got to thank my sponsors, Northern Auto Parts, Statewide Recovery, Talent Automotive, Concrete Express, Chassis Dynamics. They built a great car. Billy the Kid, great motor. Definitely a good night for us.
Eric Berndt, driver of the number 54, congratulations on second place. Great drive.
Thank you.
Now to Kim with our third place finisher.
Kerry Malone, you said you had a couple of rough weeks, but certainly when you find yourself sitting here up on the podium, it's a good night.
Yeah, it's a real good night, especially with the race car we had tonight. We've been struggling with brake problems the last few weeks, and we're still having big problems with the brakes tonight. And we had all rear brake in the car, so I had to just tippy-toe going into the corners. But then the car got so tight on me, it almost turned to be a blessing in disguise at the end of the race because the car was just pushing so bad. I really had to hold Brad Hightower up. I feel a little bad for Brad, but I'm sure he would have done the same to me. So it was a good night. Chassis Dynamics has done a great job with us all year. Billy the Kid with his engines, and my crew chief, Jimmy Bola. Everybody's been fabulous.
Well, it looks like Kerry Malone has got this number 79 turnaround, finds himself here with a podium finish. Now to Tony Sutton with a wrap-up of this event.
Boy, what a terrific evening to be here for an event like this. 50 wins and an SK. This is the place where the SK started. This is the place where more champions have come out of than any other track in New England. And as Eric Berndt said, the guy is just awesome. But I'll tell you what, we've got some young drivers coming up in Eric Berndt and Zach Sylvester, and a lot of guys that are learning from these fast guys. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great end of the season. It's going to be a great next year. What a wonderful victory lane back upstairs.
Well, it certainly has been an exciting finish. It was Ted Christopher to take down the win, as we know. Finishing in second was Berndt. Third was Kerry Malone. Fourth was the number 9 for Brad Hightower. Great run for him. Rounding up the top 5, Mike Christopher. Finishing in the 6th spot was Brainerd. 7th spot was Lloyd Agard. 8th spot was Eddie Spires. 9th, Jeff Malave. And rounding out the top 10, it'll be Willie Hardy with car number 7. We'll be back with the starting lineup for the Pro Stocks right after this.
Hey, Spearman!
Oh, it's the last one. Ladies, tell me briefly why you deserve this frost-brewed Coors Light.
Because the silver can shines like a beacon of freedom. Like the first Coors Light, I am pure and also born in the mountains.
Yes, you are.
I deserve the Coors Light. Because I said so.
We have a winner!
Well, now it's time to give you the starting lineup for the Pro Stock feature event. Car number 2 will be starting in the 31st starting position. It'll be the number 2 for Carl Holdrum. In the 29th starting spot, driving car number 70, it'll be Walt Sutcliffe driving a sponsor-wanted race car from East Haven, Connecticut.
It's car number 87 for Marky Anderson out of Southbrook, Massachusetts.
Alongside driving the number 77, it'll be Scott Bigelow from Berlin, Connecticut, driving the R.G. Bigelow Electric Company sponsor.
And his first lap now is history, and the first lap for car number 11. It's a time of 18.584. Billy Bear Coluccio said when they came in from practice, they didn't know what they were going to throw at the car. They thought they were going to get the car ready for race preparation. And right now, Christopher brings it down to the track to record his second lap of the evening. And it is a lap of 18.575. 18.575. Second lap for Mike Christopher.
The driver to watch is on the Speedway, car number 25 from Plainville, Connecticut. The ATC Space Fitters entry for Ted Christopher. Christopher, of course, doing triple duty here this evening. He will compete in both SK Modified feature events to be held here tonight, and of course will compete in the ASB American Classic. Last 2 times out, he has been in victory lane, both at Watkins Glen and at the Thompson Speedway. Those are his 2 wins so far this year. Going to go for 3 in a row here tonight, maybe. First lap time for Teddy Christopher, 18.461. 18.416. Lap number 1 time for Teddy Christopher. $18.295. 18.295 the second lap, and just comes up just a bit short from the Bud pole.
Well, car number 81 is now on the Speedway out of Trenton, New Jersey, driving the Pennzoil Chevrolet Don Hawk owned machine. It is car number 81 for Bruce Driver. Driver now working off turn number 2, and he'll work down the long back straightaway, 500 150 feet of real estate down that back straightaway now. Comes off turn number 4 to record his first lap in Bud Pole qualifying here this evening. And the first lap for car number 81 for Bruce Driver is now he works on his second lap. It is a time of 18.796. 18.796 first lap for car number 81 of Bruce Driver. We'll see what happens when he comes off the corner, comes to the stripe, and now the second lap is history. And it is a time of 18.833. 18.833. That is the second lap for car number 81 for Bruce Driver.
Car number 24 for Doug Meservey is out on the speedway. Meservey entering turn number 3 on his warm-up lap will receive the green flag this time around from the starter stand. Right now, Dave Bergman remains on the Bud Pole with Jamie Tomano second, Ted Christopher third, Charlie Pastriak to round out the front 4 as we are down to the final half dozen cars. Exiting turn number 4, Doug Meservey will see the white flag in car number 24 and head off into turn number 1. Lap number 1 time, 18.511. 18.511, lap number 1 for car number 24 of Doug Meservey. He'll see the checkered flag this time around, right to the grass here on the front straightaway. .559, lap number 2 for car number 24 of Doug Meservey.
The 48th car ready to take time here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Beautiful prepared car. It is car number 84 out of Holtzville, New York, driving the Abbott's Hearts Cove Marine Chevrolet. It's John Fortin. Fortin now works car number 84 down into turn number 3. Good line there between turns 3 and 4 now as he comes off the corner, sees the white flag from Billy Ryder, as now he'll set sail for turn number 1. In the meanwhile, the first lap has already been recorded, and it is a time of 18.846. 18.846. First lap for car number 84 for Fortin. Comes off of turn number 4, and now the second lap is history. And we'll see what kind of a lap that Fortin turned in with car number 84. It's a time of 18.763. 18.763.
Car number 3 is out on the speedway. From Raynham, Massachusetts, it's the T&M Landscaping Chevrolet for Tommy the Kid Criveno. Criveno receives the green flag this time around, has had a very impressive season so far in the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series. He has had a couple good finishes recently. Back in July at Thompson, came home second. The very next event at Riverhead, finished in 3rd. Top 1 last week, finishing 17th at the Thompson Speedway. Finished 7th back here in May in the Tidy Cat 150. Lap number 1 for Tommy Criveno, 18.439. 18.439, the first lap for Tommy Criveno, looking to get on the leaderboard here. Down to the final 4 cars here in Bud Pole qualifying. Lap number 2 for Tommy Criveno, 18.432, so doesn't pick it up a whole lot. 18.432, lap number 2 for Tommy Criveno.
And the 50th car is ready for Bud Pole qualifying. Car number 0 out of Coppell, Texas, the Ralph Solom owned Call Before You Dig Chevrolet for Ed Kennedy. Kennedy now trips the clock, and he is set to get himself a good time here this evening so he can get into tonight's American Sleeve Bearing 150. As Kennedy has had some good runs on the Featherlight Modified Series in the past. And right now he is ready to record his first lap as the wheels hit the white stripe. And the first lap for Ed Kennedy, and that Ralph Solom own entry. It's a time of 18.497. 18.497. First lap for Ed Kennedy. Comes off the corner. Good line coming off the corner, and he'll come right down to the stripe. Billy Ryder shows him the checkered flag. And Ed Kennedy has now completed his Bud Pole qualifying effort here this evening. And the time on the second lap, 18.655. 18.655, second lap for Ed Kennedy.
Car number 21 heads into turn number 3 and will receive the green flag this time around from West Babylon, New York, to Universal Welding Chevrolet for driver Mike Iwanitzko. Heads down into turn number 1. Iwanitzko does have one win on the season back at Riverhead in August and a second place at the Seekonk Speedway in June. Best finish of the year here at Stafford came in May when he finished in the 10th position. Lap number 1 for Mike Iwanitzko. .788. 18.788. Lap number 1 for Mike Iwanitzko off of turn number 4. Will receive the checkered flag this time around. 18.644. 18.644, lap number 2 for Mike Iwanitzko.
The 52nd car, and we believe that this is the last car to take time here tonight in Bud Pole qualifying. It is car number 72. Driving the DeSantis Chevrolet, it's Jimmy Kuhn. Kuhn now will get the green flag from Billy Ryder as now the clock has tripped, and he heads for turn number 1, works it off turn number 2, and now he'll work it down the back straightaway, trying to get that machine qualified here tonight for the American Sea Bearing 150 coming up a little bit later on tonight. The white flag is up in the air, and the meanwhile, car number 72 works it off the corner, and he brings it down to complete his first lap here in Bud Pole qualifying. And Jimmy Kuhn's first lap, it is a time of 18.655. 18.655. We'll see if he can improve on that. We believe that this is the last car to take time. Works it off corner number 4 and down to the checkered flag. And his Bud Pole qualifying now is history as well. And we will bring that second lap along to you. Second lap for car number 72 of Jim Kuhn. And the time is 18.523. 18.523. That was the second lap for car number 72 of Jimmy Kuhn.
So let's run down the top 5 at least for you here. We'll do that in a moment. First, let's check in downstairs.
Well, Dave, Bergman, you didn't think it would hold up, but man, you said it was a good run, and it did hold up. Everybody got slow behind you. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I had a few of them come close, but it did hold up, so surprise, surprise.
Well, we're going to let some pictures be taken. We're going to do the presentation for the Bud Pole in just a couple of minutes, but again, congratulations on a great run.
Thanks.
That's it from down here. Your pole winner back upstairs.
I'm going to run down the top 5 really quickly for you. Dave Bergman did win the Bud Pole, a time of 18.275. In second, it was Jamie Tomeno with a quick time of 18.293. In third, it was Ted Christopher. Fast time, 18.295, came on his second lap. In fourth, it was driver of car number 5 for Charlie Pastriak. He came home fourth, 18.311. And to round out the top 5, car number 44, Jerry Marquis, 18.325.
6th was Robbie Summers. 7th was car number 10 for Dan Avery. 8th was car number 4 for Tim Connolly. 9th fastest was car number 77 for John Blewett. And your 10th fastest was car number 8, the American Sea Bearing Chevrolet for Rick Fuller. Those are your top 10 in Bud Pole qualifying here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. And just a little bit later on, they will run down the entire qualifying event for Bud Pole here tonight for the Fellow Light Modified Series. Coming up next, it's the first of 2 SK Modified features. And now, let's send it over to Raleigh Jacobs.
No question about it. Impressive exciting finish for the Pro Stop Division. Victory Lane, the drivers are down there in the winner's circle, and in just a few moments we'll be talking with them. We also want to mention that the man who sets in the point standings as the leader still maintains that lead, and that, of course, is Doug Colby. Jim Avlogianis going into tonight's event met with misfortune. Early in the event, he headed a ton off turn number 4. He is okay, but that is going to cost him dearly in some of those very valuable points. But right now, it's down to CarQuest Victory Lane.
We are down here in CarQuest Victory Lane with the winner of tonight's Pro Stock event, J.R. Seeger. Come on out of that car. You've been waiting a long time to get here. He's going to get his earpieces out. He's going to climb out, flag in hand. Here's a guy who's ready to celebrate. Get up on the roof and show everybody how you can go from hard luck to good luck in one night. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for J.R. Seeger. Come on, well now, get a hold of yourself. Come on over here so we can get a word with you. First of all, you're gonna take a little rest here. Now, I was just talking to you in the pits and I said, you finished second in the Spring Sizzler and you've been having tough luck ever since. What made the difference tonight?
A lot of hard work, a lot of stupid luck. Last week we were on the pole, on the start, the right rear axle broke, went to the 33, and you can't drive it with only one axle. A couple weeks ago we started 22nd, made it all the way to 7th. It's just dumb luck. I mean, there's no luck at all. I got a lucky rabbit's foot in my pocket. Made all the difference in the world tonight. My crew, can't do it without any one of them. The Gorman Nissan Statewide Electric, Stan Helinski and his son Kevin. Without them, we wouldn't even be here. Got to thank Vassar for running me clean air. He could have, he could have wrecked me and gone on for the win. I'd like to thank him for the clean run. Everybody tonight ran clean. Matt Boucher ran me clean all night. Oh, this is unbelievable. I can't believe it.
Now, when we talk about having bad luck for quite some time, how do you keep a positive attitude? That has to be a very big part of it.
Oh, it's a big part of it. You just can't let yourself get down. You got to have, be positive in yourself. The other thing, Roger P's Performance Engines, horsepower like you can't believe. Thank you, Roger.
J.R. Seeger, ladies and gentlemen, in this number 3, a positive attitude and help from his team and his sponsors, and he finds himself in Victory Lane, the 7th different winner here at Stafford Motor Speedway in this division. We're going to move on back now and talk to Rich Vassar. Now, I talked to you a couple weeks ago in the pits, and we talked about the fact that if your dad comes in, you have good luck. Now, you're sitting in 2nd place. Did your dad come in tonight?
No, I think he's still in the parking lot. I wish he was here. We may have had this one.
Now, watching you through the race, you were right on his tail. Did you think that did you have an opportunity, and when was that opportunity, and did you miss it?
No, I don't think I missed it. I took all the chances I could. I got him a little squirrely rattle his cage, but he's a veteran. He stayed in it, and we had a good, clean race.
You had a good, clean race, and you can't do this without people's help. Any special thanks?
That's right. Well, I have to thank, first of all, Porter and Chester Institute. They've been behind me forever. And Enfield Pontiac, there are a lot of support. Realty executives. Most of all, Vassar Landscaping, because me and Jeff Connors leave early on Fridays, and it's good. They're good about that. So just have to thank everybody, and mostly my crew.
Okay, a good showing here in CarQuest Victory Lane. 2nd place for Rich Vassar. He probably wants to say hi to his dad, who's roaming around there in the parking lot somewhere. Listen to him on the radio. Now we're going to come back and talk to Wayne Bellefleur. Now here, a hard luck story that turns into a really great finish here tonight. Tell us about some of the trouble you had tonight.
Well, we got here when we missed our practice. We were late putting this car together. These guys, they've been putting long hours in all week, and I can't thank them enough. I got the best crew out here, and I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for them guys. And I just got to thank them, and we missed our practice, and we got black flagged in the heat, so our consi was kind of our practice, and to come from the back and have a good finish like this, at least I'm not letting these guys down.
You certainly did come from the back. Now, you had to qualify through the consi, and you climbed up through the front. What was the key to getting to the front? You can come from the back and go to the front, apparently.
It's just being patient. There's a lot of things that happen. Usually you see a lot of yellows here on Friday nights, and you try to be patient and stay out of trouble, and you'll be in the front towards the end. I got to thank my sponsors. These guys, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. None of us would. The Davidson Company, Dave Rowe's been so generous to us, and I can't thank him enough. He's the one who keeps this car supported, and I got to thank everybody else. High Heat, Terry's Transmission, Palmari, Andrews Worst Radish, Performance Centers, Willamette Camera and Video, Santilli's Market, Convenient Graphics, JB Racing Engines, Deb's Beauty Salon, Lynch Pontiac, and Sherwin-Williams Paint, and Jim, who paints the car. We got a new sponsor on board with us this week, Cole's Overhead Door, a local sponsor. He's helping us out a lot, too. Sunoco Race Fuels has been a big supporter of ours for a few years, so I'm sorry we got so many sponsors here, but, I hope I didn't leave anybody out.
Well, I'm sure they're very happy tonight. Congratulations to Wayne Bellefleur, a guy who knows you got to stick with it. All 3 guys here tonight know that you keep a positive attitude, you can end up in CarQuest Victory Lane. And Tony Sutton for a wrap-up.
Thank you very much, Kim. Boy, I'll tell you what, we had it all tonight. J.R. Seeger, he was the guy that just stayed the course. He was consistent, restart after restart. The number 1, Vassar, he basically just kept his foot in it and stayed out of trouble, but you got to give it up for the young guy, the driver of the 16 car, whose crew was giving him a hard time as he pulled into victory lane for an unbelievable finish. 19 positions he moved up in 40 laps. What an exciting event down here. Victory Lane is wrapping up. We're about ready to come out with another feature event here at Stafford Motor Speedway. So hang on to your seats, hang on to your hats. We're about to go race again.
You know, I can tell just by looking whether a vehicle's been driven hard or not. This guy's one of my regular customers. Scorched brake rotors, beat up oil pan, probably never takes his foot off the gas. And he trusts me to make sure it performs when he needs it most. So there's only one brand of auto parts I trust, CarQuest. I mean, you never know. Someday, he might need to give me a ride.
CarQuest, the professional choice.
SK Modified feature event. Here's the starting lineup. He'll use a provisional starting spot with car number 02 to start back in the 29th starting position. The main auto